Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Obstinate. Guys. Hmm. So, voilà. Flagitious. Oh. Like this. Il n'y a pas là, il n'y a pas il. Richard Henry. Hi. Yeah. Okay, I'm not reading now. Yeah. Deficiencies. Definiteness of decision. Okay. All right. Okay. Chapter 8, Decision and Mastery of Procrastination. Yeah, let's write something down. Okay. Let's write it. Okay, here we go. Decision. Let's see how learn. cold. Okay. Huh. All right. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Isara from South Korea, and I haven't press record. Izara, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thor Nguyen, Izara and Thor Nguyen from Vietnam. Yeah, shout out to these two who accompany me in this reading and studying journey. Yeah, actually, this is my very first time I have a lengthy conversation with YouTube Live audience. Actually, the first time ever I have conversation on YouTube Live. It's pretty wild. Let's kind of soft me increase this volume. So it's better to explain. Okay. Not a bit too loud. Okay. So for those who Izara and Nguyen, currently I'm reading this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So currently I'm in chapter 8. Chapter 8, this book talks about decision, the mastery of procrastination. Now, a lot of leaders, a lot of entrepreneurs that I've met, they all talk about decisions. Like I mentioned in my last podcast, one entrepreneur actually suggested that if you are spending too much time in finding what food to eat when you're ordering from a menu, just find a random one and decide. And that because everyday entrepreneurs, all these like Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, so many decisions for him to make, and every decision requires that every decision is quite important and requires a lot of thinking power. So he cannot spend time in making like all these small decisions like, okay, what do I wear today, what do I eat today? No, he cannot waste any brain cells or any time in making all these small decisions. He gotta focus his mental power in making all these big decisions that decides the life and death of his company. So that's why you see Mark Zuckerberg wears the same shirt, wears the same turtleneck, long sleeve black shirt every day, because it's simple and it looks professional. And actually, his closet is all this one shirt only. Yeah, so that's Mark Zuckerberg, and a lot of entrepreneurs, they advocate the same habit, which is making decision fast, because indecision when you're not making any decision is a decision itself. So here it talks about this guy called Henry Ford. Henry Ford is the first person who ever produced commonly used cars. Back then cars were still a luxury, but after Henry Ford, everyone has cars. Yeah, because he came up with the idea of using factory to put cars together with the other parts and making cars very economical, affordable, and how do you say this, more common. Okay. Anyway, so Henry Ford has a reputation of making decisions very quickly, in a sense, in a level that uh, his one of his car that made the most money is super ugly. It's ugly, because he didn't spend time. Like he just decided to make a car and took action instead. Instead of spending a lot of time like finalizing or perfecting the design, it will cost him too much time. That's why I just watched sorry, excuse me. I just watched a movie called Ford vs Ferrari recently, and basically, Henry Ford was figure like Ford, the company, and not Henry Ford, but I think Henry Ford's grandson was finding a way to buy Ferrari, because actually Ferrari was in the verge of bankruptcy, and Ferrari was trying to sell his part of his company, of most of his shares, and because Henry Ford come out with many cars in a year, but Ferrari only come out with one car every, I don't know, every decade. I gotta do my research well, but basically Henry Ford is like a fast food chain, trying to come out with a new car every quarter, every season, every year. But Ferrari like spends time in perfecting like all the shapes and how the car should look, how to make it even faster, and the time and the effort took a toll on the capital, the money the Ferrari company has. So at the end, not at the end, actually, Ferrari actually sold his shares to another company. Yeah, because they couldn't sustain itself. Anyway, so Henry Ford, made decisions so quick that his car is ugly, but people still use it anyway because it works. And another one is what else? Okay, but yeah, so we need to have our own opinion. We shouldn't be swayed by other people's thinking. But sometimes when we are inexperienced, we don't have any idea like what we should do. We should consult advice or consultancy from others whom we trust. Shouldn't be anyone. Sometimes if you ask advice from your family, especially in entrepreneurship, in the entrepreneurial journey, family and friends would understand what we are going through if we are entrepreneurs. We want to start something, they would look at us at a very with a very concerned look. And I said that, okay, I hope you are thinking this through. I don't think it's the best plan for you. You should get a job and work 9 to 5 for life. Instead of entertaining this fancy imagination or fantasies. So who you should consult is the friends, or in this author, this book actually said a mastermind group whom you trust. This mastermind group should be filled with like mentors or leaders that you want to learn from. Okay, that's why it's very important to. I think it's a very important skill to actually know how to make friends, make important friends. Friends who are entrepreneurs, who are leaders, instead of friends who just for fun. Friends who grows together. That's important. Now, and okay, if you want to do research, you do your research quietly. So another thing that I learned is that if you set a goal, don't share it. Don't share your goals, because it's scientifically proven that once you share your goals too often, your brains actually feel good about that. You get like a validation from a friend that, yeah, I think you have a very cool goal. Like, okay, I gotta lose weight this year. I gotta lose weight, lose like 10 kg, and then you share to a friend like, how I would lose my weight is I would eat clean, I would exercise every single day. And then once you say it too often, your brain would feel like you have already took action. You have already done it. You feel a bit better to yourself, a bit better about yourself. But I think you didn't actually do it. You only talked about it. So don't share your goals. Don't share your goals. Take action instead. That's the thing. If you want to research, if you want to do more research, you gotta research quietly. Keep your eyes and your ears open, and keep your mouth shut. Okay. And then, if you want to tell people about your goals, show it. Show, don't tell. That's show, don't tell. Yeah. So another evidence or another example. This is a very powerful one. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of the United States, he made a decision. He made a decision in giving freedom to colored people back then, and he knew that once he made a decision, more than half of his friends or political supporters would go against him, because back then, um, back then it's just like that. And he knew that too. He knew that, but he took action anyway because he had a very definite purpose. He had a definite result that he wanted to go for, which is fairness to everyone, regardless any race. And that did cost him his life. He actually got assassinated. But look at the changes he made in the world, in the United States. It's a big thing. Okay. And another philosopher, Socrates, he decided to drink a cup of poison instead of giving up freedom of speech. And thousands of years ahead, it inspired a lot of people. Inspired a lot of important people in the world to insist on freedom of speech. This is a very cool thing as well. Moving on, this book, in this chapter, it talks about the freedom war, the freedom fighters of the American Revolution. It's a very cool story. Very, very cool story. It's gonna be too long. I think I can share another time. And it's basically, because back then America was colonized by British, by England, and basically these people are fighting for this. I think it's a 50. My numbers may be wrong. I didn't remember it correctly, but it could be like 57 of them. 57 of the states, congressmen or people were fighting for their freedom. The leaders are Richard Henry Lee, Richard Henry Lee, John Hancock, and Samuel Adams, and also Thomas Jefferson, who drafted the independence paper. Okay, so these three people are the leaders of this mastermind. So, and by them actually going against British, their colonizers, they are basically signing their death warrants. But they knew what they want. They want freedom, and they would pay the price, and the price is their life for it. But eventually they succeeded, and that's a very inspiring story. So, and there's even one very cool statement. Where is it again? Okay, so there's one time, basically by them going against their colonizers, they got charged with treason, meaning that once they got caught, they would be hanged. So there's one very famous line by one of the politicians. He said that, well, if this be treason, then make the most of it. By Patrick Henry. So basically, like, well, since we are screwed, why not we just make the most out of this screwed up situation? And this is a very cool mindset to go with life. Well, since it's not happening my way, why not I make the most out of it? Okay, moving on. So sometimes we plan too much. We plan too much instead of making decision. We prepare ourselves, we aim, but it took too long. At the end, we don't have the momentum to take action. So sometimes we gotta have faith. No, actually, all the times we gotta have faith and courage to take the action. Enduring faith, and back Back your burning desire with enduring faith. So, so yeah, this is it. Sometimes, you just gotta keep taking action, just like me doing this YouTube live every day, and I'm actually enjoying it. And at the end, I just want to conclude the main points. Set a definiteness of decision. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta have a very strong purpose. Your strong why. Why do you want to do what you do? For me, this billionaire reading list that I'm doing, the book that the YouTube live, and the billionaire reading list that I'm about to publish, is basically, at the same time, I can help a lot of people, and because reading, I shared my story last week, yesterday, 2 days ago. Basically, reading changed my family. I set a time among my families to study together in the same room, and it increased the quality of our lives. My father actually got a healthy habit going on, and it changed lives of people around us, and I really believe that it creates some impact in the world that we live in. So that's why I want to share this billionaire's reading list. And then after that, after setting a purpose, is plan. Plan well, and you will reach your goal. Plan well, and then once it doesn't work, the plan doesn't work, change it and keep changing until it works. So that's my sharing for today. To Thor Nguyen and Isa, if you're still there, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for studying with me and listening to my sharing. That's it for my reading session today. And I wish two of you good morning. Good morning. Yeah, and thank you very much.